What's up, YouTube? My name is Spencer, and I help parents and caregivers teach their little ones how to read. Now, when I say little, y'all, I mean like really little. Like in terms of age, I have families taking my courses with little ones in the 15 to 18 month range. I started with my son at 18 months, but there's no reason why he couldn't have started sooner. It's just when we had time. And, you know, people go up to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9. Older kids trying to catch up to. But if you have a really, really little one, which I know a lot of you do, you may be wondering, how do I know that they're ready to read? What age do they need to hit where I know they can start reading? And the truth is, I'm not gonna give it to you. I'm not gonna give you an age. There's no set age. Every kid is different, and we know this. Developmentally, every kid's different. We know this. Every family, every situation, every parent, every caregiver is different. We know this, right? So I'm not gonna give you an age, but what I am gonna give you is 4 super simple signs that your little one is ready to read. 2 of these are gonna have to do with them. 2 are gonna have to do with you and how you interact with them, how you believe, right, that they can do it or not do it, all that sort of stuff. So 4 super simple signs. By the end of this, you should be able to say, yes, 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 I'm ready to get going with my little one, or no, not quite yet. I need to wait until they hit this milestone, or I need to wait until I am ready. So that's what you will walk away with. I want you to just enter this though, right? Just like take this with like a little grain of salt at the beginning. Like stay with me, because I know what I'm saying might kind of rub some folks the wrong way. You might be like, this is way too soon, way too early. So just hear me out. Let me finish. Then roast me in the comments, right? Feel free. But here are the 4 things. I stand behind these, and I think if you listen to all 4, then you'll see what I'm talking about, okay? Starting with number 1. The first sign that you're looking for as to whether or not your little one is ready to start reading is whether they can literally say the sounds. We're thinking about their oral language here, right? Can they see that this sound says ah, and can they say that this sound says ah, right? Are there ways to teach the sounds where they can't say them? Yeah, there's some ways that we can get around this. We can show them a sound, and instead of having them say the sound ah, we can have them point to it, or hit it, or put it down on the ground and have them jump on it. There's lots of things that we can do. One of the first signs that you want to look for as the parent or as the caregiver is, can they say the sounds? Because being able to say the sounds is going to help them a lot as they're actually learning the sounds. It's going to let you know whether they're learning or not because they're saying it back to you. Can they say the sounds? Do they need to be able to say every single sound? No. If they can say most of the sounds, then guess what? You start teaching them most of the sounds. You don't need to teach them every sound, all 26 sounds at once. It's not going to work that well if you did either. You would teach them just the sounds that they can say, the sounds that are easier for them, the sounds they like. And then once they've learned those, their oral language is going to keep developing, and then you can start to bring in some of those other sounds as they learn how to say them. But the first sign you're looking for is literally, can my kid say these sounds? Number 2, if they can say the sounds. The second thing that you want to look for is, does my kid seem able to remember things? Do they have a decent memory? Most kids do. And when you think about can they remember things, what I mean in terms of sounds is, can they see that this is ah? Can they say the sound ah? And then the next day, can they remember that this says ah? Sometimes we think our kids' memory is worse than it is because they're forgetting stuff, when in reality, we just didn't teach it well, right? We just didn't show it to them well. We didn't give them enough exposures. But the question that you want to ask is, can my kid remember things? So if I think about my surroundings and I think about my son when he's little, like he learned the word couch. He could wake up, he could walk out, he could look at this, he would remember that this is a couch, right? This is daddy, this is a shirt. Are they seeing objects and remembering them? We'd even get a little bit more academic. Have you taught them shapes? Circle, square, rectangle. Do they remember those shapes? Have you taught them colors? Red, blue, green, yellow. Do they remember those colors? Because I will tell you this clearly. There is no difference in their brain between seeing like this and being able to remember that that's a circle from seeing this and being able to remember that that's ah. A lot of the cognitive stuff that our little ones are showing are all indicators that they can remember the sounds. We just think for some reason that learning to read is just much harder than all these things. And it's really not. So if I'm talking with a kid, if I'm talking with a parent, and they're like, yeah, they know the color red. They see red, they say red. Guess what? They can see they can say Like, oh, they know the couch. They remember the couch. They see the couch, they say the couch. There's no difference, okay? If they can remember things. So if they can literally say the sounds and they can remember the sounds from one day to the next, they're well on their way to learning how to read, because learning the sounds is one of the first and biggest stages here. And after we know the sounds, we can start to blend them together, okay? And hopefully by this point, you're seeing this learning to read process can happen a lot earlier than a lot of people think, and doesn't have to be as hard or as challenging as people think, because our kids are constantly saying sounds and they're constantly remembering things. They're constantly doing this, they're constantly learning. They're like sponges, right? 2 big signs right away that have to do with your little one. Number 3, and number 3 is gonna be very honest. Feel how you wanna feel about it, that's fine. I'm just here to be honest with you and to tell you the truth. The 3rd sign that you are looking for as to whether or not your little one is ready to learn how to read is whether you believe they can focus. Notice, I'm not saying whether they can focus, okay? I believe they can. I'm talking about whether you believe they can. Because every parent, every caregiver, every teacher, every administrator has different beliefs about kids. And if you're at the point where you're like, okay, they can say the sounds, they can remember things, but I just don't think they can focus on this sound enough to learn it, guess what? They can't, right? Whether we believe they can or whether we believe they can't, we are right. So if you don't think they can focus, they're not gonna focus for you. End of story. If you believe they can focus, and I'm also not saying sit still. I'm not saying act like a robot. I'm not saying like be here, be locked in for like 20 minutes, like staring at sounds. I'm not saying any of that. There's ways to play with the sounds, to have them jump on them, to run to them, to play hide and seek, to play red light, green light. There's lots of ways we can get them up and moving and engaged. But if you don't think that they can focus on the sounds during that time, you've already lost. It's not gonna work. So what we need is we need them to be able to say the sounds. We need them to be able to cognitively remember things, remember those sounds. And then we need them to be able to focus on those sounds during the learning time. At the beginning, this is like 30 seconds. Like 30 seconds. I might take one card for 30 seconds, show it to them, and try and get their eyes on it and try and get them trying to say it. That's what I mean by focus. If you believe they can focus. And just one note to the side, y'all. One note to the side, take it or leave it. I have a lot of families tell me my kid can't focus. They can't focus. But the second they put an iPad in the kid's hand, the kid gets catatonic. They freeze. They look at it, right? Just think about it. Think about what we're saying about our kids, okay? If they've demonstrated they can do it, then why do we believe they can't? Just think about it, okay? Point 4. They can say the sounds. They can remember the sounds. We think that they can focus. We think that they can focus on it. There's only one reason why they wouldn't learn how to read. And that is if we are not ready to get started with them. You might be like, okay, Spence, my kid has knocked through this whole checklist. They can do all that, you know, I can do that. I believe in them, but I don't have the time. Like I don't have time after work or in the morning, or I just don't want to get started. I don't want to do it. I don't think it's important, right? If that's your barrier, I can't jump it for you. I can't get you through that, right? That's something that you've got to decide. And I'll be honest, some of you might have like a 14-month-old at home who has hit these first 3. And to be honest, do you need to start teaching them to read? No. Do you need to start teaching them the sounds? No. Is this the time that you want to get started? No. And that is completely okay. What I am saying is if you want them to start reading, regardless of age, I'm not here to say this many months or this many years, regardless of age, okay? If you want them to start reading, they've got to hit these first 3 checks. They got to say the sounds, they got to remember things, remember the sounds, and you've got to believe that they can do it. You've got to believe that they can focus, okay? And if they've hit those, then you have to be ready to get started. Because if you're not, they're not gonna learn how to read, okay? And if you are ready to get started, right? I'm not talking about just like some like, thought or belief or like some mental thing. I mean practically. Like, are you ready to make the time? Are you ready to find 5 minutes during a day that you are gonna save every single day to teach your little one how to read? Is that what you're ready to do? Are you ready to do some research, to do some learning? Personally, I think you should watch my content. Are you ready to find content that's gonna build your knowledge of how to teach reading? Are you ready to study it? Are you ready to invest? Are you ready to teach them? It doesn't have to be a huge investment, but you've got to do something that says, I am ready to get started. I'm ready to go. Okay? And if you're at that point, then there is no reason why your little one can't start reading today. Today. No reason. When I taught my son to read, we started at 18 months. My son was reading well at 25 months. Okay? He's reading well. He's reading 2-letter sounds, 3 letters, right? He's building. Yeah, part of it is because I knew a ton about teaching reading. That's true. I was good at it. A bigger part, because I will tell you this, there are a lot of people, some of you watching, who know a ton about teaching reading, but have never taught a child to read early, have never taught their own kids to read. And the biggest difference is I said, I am ready to get started. I'm going to make the time. I did this right after a promotion. I was very, very busy. I was very, very tired. But what I did was I said, this is a priority. I'm going to make the time. I'm going to do it with my son. And every day, I made that time. If you are ready to do that, then there's no reason why your little one can't get started. If you're at this stage, you're like, my kid can do all this stuff. They're ready to get started. I believe in them. I am ready as the adult. Here's how I can support you on that mission, okay? Here's what Spencer can do for you. Number 1, I've got a bunch of free content on this page, on my other social media page. Check it out. Hopefully it's helpful. A lot of quick tips and quick wins there. Number 2, I've got a free training in the description. Got a free training in all my links. You can check it out. That's gonna walk you through kind of step by step. Here's the first steps to get started. Here's how to learn the sounds. Here's how to blend them together. And number 3, I have full paid courses. This is what I do. That's why I quit my job. That's why I do what I do to support families. I put everything I have into these full paid courses to help you go step by step through a full lesson plan, me modeling this with kids so you can see what to do and how this works and why we can do this so much earlier than a lot of people think without all this effort, without all this time, without any teaching experience, okay? Those are all the different resources that I can provide for you if you and your little one are ready to get started. Otherwise, I really hope this is helpful. I hope you heard me out and can understand why I'm framing it this way and why I believe what I believe about little kids and their ability. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone else, with a toddler, with a really little one who might want to get their kid reading too. I understand this is not everyone's cup of tea, okay? And that's completely fine with me. But if you know someone who's interested in teaching a little one, please share this with them too. It would be super helpful if you subscribe to my channel, click the notifications, all that stuff, so you actually see my videos when I post them. And then otherwise, I just really appreciate you watching, taking the time, hearing me out, and I will talk to you soon.